In the beginning, it was an adversarial relationship with the fishermen. I come from a background of working with more radical parts of the environmental movement. Before I actually started the organization, I was really adamant about getting lobsters out of these traps. And did I do things illegal? Yeah, I did. I went out and freed up some lobsters. This is back in the 70s and 80s. Then I started seeing that it wasn't good for the community. And so I stopped doing that, and I started telling all my friends, don't do that anymore. I was seeing a lot of these abandoned traps that were in the waters up and down the coast, and there was always left behind fishing gear, now called ghost gear. So I said, I got to do something because nobody's doing anything. I was just going out there and doing what I felt needed to be done. But as time went on, I was finding out that there were better ways to do it than just going out and randomly cleaning up. I know a lot of people that are out there and in the water, and a lot of people feel very strongly that the lobster fishery is not regulated and it's overfished. And that's not going over very well with the fishermen. As you can imagine, this is their livelihood. They spend all this money getting the boats ready and getting the traps set out there.
That's the biggest problem I have, because it's easy to blame us. Everybody's going to have their passion and their opinion, but nobody wants to listen to somebody else's passion and their opinion. We've been in the ocean and seen so much our whole lifetime, and then you have a younger person that, you know, hasn't lived and seen the stuff, telling them, oh, you got to do this. It won't work. As far as the community noticing what's going on, tournament anglers, weekend warriors, family, it's a really big group of fishermen. I mean, thousands of people, right? They regulate the oceans. But you got to understand that within, let's say, lobstering, right? So lobster traps cost us $300 a trap, right? And we're allowed to have 10 per boat. So you're spending a couple $1,000s, right? I'm not trying to lose my trap.
There's animosity out there that we want to rectify, and I am adamant about don't mess with their livelihoods. There's better ways to do this, to deal with it, and do it legally, and we can affect change that way.
A lot of people have this misconception about fishermen that they're ruining the ocean, and they actually are the ones cleaning it up. I mean, anytime you come to the harbor and see someone offloading lost fishing gear, which we'll always try and salvage, so we'll take pictures of the tags that are on it or bring it onto our boat. Oftentimes, if you're down in the harbor, you'll see gear just kind of up by one of the hoists, and people will always bring it in. And then that's kind of like the communal spot where you can go and check out and see if there's stuff that might belong to you, or it just ends up being thrashed. It's extremely important to clean up lost gear because it's extremely expensive, not only so that they're protected financially, but so that it protects from ghost fishing and just protects the beaches from, you know, having all that debris all over it. I mean, when the storms were happening here in Santa Barbara a few weeks ago, it was complete chaos on the beaches, and every fisherman moved all their gear out, you know, to deeper water, which you're supposed to when the swells come like that. But it was a historic storm that people didn't expect to be that big. So unfortunately, everyone lost gear. Whether you were fishing the islands or fishing the coast, everyone lost something. I would love to work with another group that's willing to recover any lost gear. More hands on deck.
Part of my growing up, if you want to call it, is the realization that I have to work with the fishing community. So we've developed a nice rapport with a lot of fishermen that they appreciate what we're doing, and actually some of them are telling me when they lose their traps, and then we go out and get them, pull them up, and give the traps back to them. That's been my growth, is I'm finally doing that.
within my circle, we're teaching what I believe, and it's just respect. Respect is the biggest thing ever. I think, is it cool that you guys are sending out people to go clean up the bottom of the ocean? 100%. Work together.
If you want to save wildlife, it has to be a collaborative effort. You can't just go out there and ram ships or do a variety of other things that you might feel are going to make a difference. And it does for the immediate impact, but if you're looking at long-term effects, you have to work with the communities. We've made a big difference. When you look at the overall impact that ODA has had over our 23 years now, I don't see near the amount of traps in the water anymore. I don't see the lines in the water too, because the lines are made out of polypropylene and they last 450 years in the environment. So when I first started doing this, we were removing more lines than traps. The lines were just spread out all over the place. So we were removing thousands and thousands of feet of line. And I don't see that anymore, which is nice. We've had a drastic effect on the benthic life. I'm Lieber, president and founder of Ocean Defenders Alliance. I started ODA in 1999, basically, and we've been given the nonprofit status in 2002.